Welcome back to the 128 KB podcast. We are back once again.
Due to lack of popular demand.
Yes. And that demand is so lacking in the world of gaming and PC handheld gaming that, Andy, you've got a dark admission to make. And honestly, you've got some climbing out of a hole to do here.
I didn't expect you to bring this up. I was going to keep it a secret, a dark secret that just never came to the light. I did something.
I just want to say,
yeah, go on.
Yeah, Andy's done something very dark, and I expect everyone to hate him. So straight away in the comments, I want to know your reactions to this. He often takes the mick out of me for being in this part of the world, and now he's joined me. Andy, what have you gone and done?
I may or may not have got a certain type of fruit in the shape of a laptop. I bought a MacBook.
Oh,
I know.
He's given up.
My wife literally tried everything she could to stop me. She hates Apple products with a burning passion. She really does. So she said, "Is there not an equivalent laptop that you could get, like Windows?" And I was like, "No. This I want to get one of these just because I got an M5 MacBook Pro. Mainly because I got a really good deal, and also because." For a laptop, like efficiency, battery life, the screen, just the CPU power, like being able to edit these videos or whatever on the go if I wanted to is like a major draw there for me, you know. So I was like, and also because we both were in the music industry prior to this, I've got like loads of software because I owned Mac in the past. So I've got loads of software that I'd already bought, and I was like, well, I can just continue using some of that stuff. And again, like Adobe and stuff works on it. So it just made sense for me, like for the benefit of the channel, and also just as a thing that I wanted to use, you know, because I was really toying, which is a theme later on in this show, with all the RAM and SSD prices hiking and stuff. For the past like month and a half, I've been really thinking like I want to get a laptop, not necessarily for gaming, because I like using the Legion Go 2 and like the Xbox Allies and stuff like that. And I've got a big beefy PC anyway, so I wasn't really thinking I need a gaming laptop. I just thought no one's going to be able to afford a freaking laptop for the next 3 years. So before these price hikes, I want to get in on something. And then it kind of made sense for me to go to the dark side because, again, the performance side, the efficiency, the lightweight, I really love, like, I'm just going to hold it up on camera. Like, the build quality and stuff, you can't fight that, like, can you? Like, the thing is an absolute machine. And, yeah.
I say it a lot. I say it a lot when we were looking at... it came up a lot when we were looking at the Xbox Ally X.
Yes.
It's a long kind of thread. Follow me on it. And I was talking about like the day one experience, and that a lot of these handheld manufacturers need to take a leaf out of Apple's book with the day one experience. Mm-hmm. And the fact that it offers such a beautiful ease to everyone, regardless of their skill level, right away... you all get the same wonderful experience, is really important, especially when you've bought something that's so expensive.
Yes.
You want to feel excited, you want to feel that buzz, and you don't want that to be diminished by like Windows being an asshole like it normally is when you first start up. You get those teething problems. Undeniably, what Apple have done really well is create that day one experience, from the materials it's made of to how the screen looks to just how beautiful the operating system is as soon as you open it, and it kind of holds your hand. Like, let's set this up for you in a really stylized and elegant way that Windows just really hasn't figured out at all.
Yes. Exactly. And I also think that, like what you just said there, it holds your hand, but it just makes it so easy that it just always works. Like, the reliability factor is right up there. Whereas on Windows laptops especially, like, the battery life just sucks. Like, they really suck, especially if you get one with a dedicated GPU, which I'd need if I wanted to video edit on it, you know? So you're looking at, like, literally a couple of hours battery life from a Windows laptop versus, like, 20 plus on one of these, you know? And also the updates problems that you get on Windows. You know?
It's it does just have this ethos of always working. It's not without its shortcomings, and of course, currently, it's not without that kind of Apple tax that we associate with it.
Yeah.
But that's kind of an interesting point I want to look at, is that as we look into 26 for gaming, it feels like we're looking into the abyss at the moment with, if anyone is wanting to buy hardware.
Yeah.
We don't know how this is going to play out. There's things we're going to talk about with like NVIDIA having issues with memory shortage. Everyone can't get hold of RAM, and when that supply does become available again, prices are going to skyrocket. So when we start looking at like PC hardware or consoles, do you think that Apple's pricing then actually becomes quite attractive, because perhaps they're not going to be affected in the same way as people like NVIDIA are?
So Apple foresaw this years ago, and they made deals with their providers, whoever makes their RAM and stuff, and basically they've got some sort of contract in play that no matter what happens in the market, in the industry, the prices do not change. And that's why, like, if you looked at, I got like the base spec one just because I wanted to keep the price low, you know. But if you looked at like upgrading, so I got 16 gig of RAM in this. If you're looking at the 24 gig, it's another like 200 for that upgrade, and then another 200 on top of that, I think, for the 32 gig upgrade, something like that, right? Whereas pre all this RAM stuff in the PC world, that's like, whoa, that's a lot of money, you know. Whereas now, that's actually looking really attractive, like really attractive, and it's not skyrocketed. You know, the Apple website hasn't gone plus 1,000 for like another 16 gig or whatever. Like, so yeah, somehow they're going to come out laughing on this, and Apple users are unaffected. Yeah.
So then that gets me excited with, and I know this is kind of like, it's going to alienate, because there's a general hatred towards Apple, especially amongst gamers.
Yeah.
But I would be genuinely excited to see games embracing the Apple ecosystem even more. So now, like, to give us all more options with hardware, especially as things start going crazy with prices. I know it's kind of getting there, and I know there's like, because it's essentially based on Linux, that it shouldn't be too much of a problem for Steam.
Yeah, and there's loads of Proton layers and stuff that you can use now to run Windows based. And there's even big games that are supporting macOS natively, like Cyberpunk. You know, like when I was looking at getting this, I saw a Cyberpunk like benchmark thing between the M4 chip Max and then the M5 that I've got. And like they were running Cyberpunk with ray tracing on, and the M4 chip was getting like 20 something FPS. Went to the M5 and it was getting 60. That's like on an APU with ray tracing on. Like what?
Yeah.
So yeah, mad.
Yeah, it'd be really exciting to see it embrace more. I guess the other thing is that, something I've not seen a lot of, but I'm sure it happens, is people installing stuff like Bazzite on it, or whatever the equivalent would be that works, because it is essentially a Linux system, so that hardware would be compatible with.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's not going to be for me or you, but I imagine there's people that are going to like take a Mac Mini, for example, and go, I'm just going to turn this into a
Steam machine,
some kind of Steam machine. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I hadn't even considered
and then when you
that.
look, when you look at the specs of those Mac Minis, you could probably build a really good Steam machine for less than what the Steam machine is probably going to cost.
Yeah, well, Mac Mini's like 500, something like that, for an M4 variant, I think.
Yeah.
So that's pretty good. You know, it's pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah, it's genuinely interesting. And the evil genie in me is happy that you've come to the dark side.
I know. Yeah, it was so funny watching your message. Like when I said I've done something. Normally that's what happens when me and AJ message, and I say like,
I've done something.
Yeah, I've done something, and you're like, what have you got now? But I'm excited about it. Like again, for a laptop, I don't think I could have got anything better for like productivity. Obviously, if you were only looking at gaming, like you would totally look at Windows machines, but you're probably paying more. And again, for less like usable performance, if you actually wanted to use this as like a daily driver, you know, like the way I see it, and I don't mean it as a negative, but it kind of could be, you know, is basically like a glorified tablet with how easy it is. It's just basically a tablet with a keyboard and a mouse attached to it, you know, and it just works. So
yeah, and they've done that on purpose. The kind of convergence for their on Apple side of stuff of their silicone and their operating systems is all kind of like it's all kind of ending up in the same place eventually.
Yeah.
If you look at how they like the iPad Pros with the M series in it, they're all converging together. So you're right in that. It feels like a tablet that you've got a keyboard and you can do productivity on it. I want to see more gaming stuff on there though. That's the only thing.
Yes, I think we'll get there.
Yeah, I think so. And there is a tenuous thread to the next section because, of course, you can play Village on. It is supported on Mac natively
and on iPhone.
Is it really on iPhone? It is, isn't it?
Yeah.
Who said that? It brings back that. Yeah. But the tenuous thread there is that last night, was it? Was it last night or this morning?
Well, one or the other.
We woke up to it anyway.
Yeah, in the UK we woke up to it,
we've seen the Resident Evil showcase.
Yeah, Resident Evil Requiem. Yes.
Yes.
So much covered in that. Like, I had actually forgotten. I put a note in my calendar. Like, so when big gaming events come, I literally put, like, calendar notifications. And I forgot to get the notification to notify me. So unless I looked at my calendar, I wouldn't have seen it. And I woke up to stuff like, what's this, like, watch and stuff? And then I went, hang on a second, I've missed the showcase. So I was like, quick, like, you know, AJ, we've got to watch that before we do the show. And there was loads.
It was like 12 minutes, wasn't it? 12 minutes long, and they just crammed it full.
There was a lot there, yeah. Obviously, a lot of, like, new gameplay footage that we saw.
Yeah.
I was mainly reading the subtitles and, like, listening to see what they said, which I'm fine with because obviously I'm going to see the game when I play it. But yeah, there was loads of stuff that they've deep dived into and stuff that I'm like actually really excited by.
I'd say like my first kind of like gut reaction because I was watching a lot of the gameplay is how cool they've made the combat look and feel.
Yeah, that's one thing.
It looks really stylish.
It looks really cool, and I get like a massive kind of like Gears of War or like Doom vibe to it. Like,
Dude, I'm so glad you said that because that's exact. I was like, oh man, that's like Gears of War and Doom. That kind of like melee, close quarters, stylish moves and stuff.
Yeah.
I was like,
Leon's
that's cool,
full badass. You can sharpen his axe. Like that is so cool. And I like the fact that they focused on like body part specific targeting.
Yes.
So you have to like manually aim at like their kneecap, which is going to slow them down so that you can melee them, which is great because that's going to be a brilliant ammo saving tool, especially when you get into the hard difficulties, like once you've completed the game or whatever. But I really like that. So if you are limited on ammo, just pop them in the kneecap and then start hacking at them with a hatchet. You can pick up stuff on the floor, like a chainsaw to go at it.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's all these different like finishing moves or whatever. Again, like Gears of War or Doom. And it just looks so cool. You're going to see Leon being like badass as hell. And yeah.
It's what's really cool about that. So it makes me. It feels like a slight departure of the old where my gut reaction with any Resident Evil game is that you're this. You're supposed to be playing this action hero, but you're actually really weak and like. Fragile, you know, and like you should be avoiding any confrontations if you can, which is a big part of this still. They do kind of put that in there. But it feels like they're like giving them the adequate strength to actually fight in this world for a change where you could feel like that there's a reason to engage because there's this satisfaction to it.
Yes, absolutely, yeah. That's where they kind of took it with Resident Evil 4, and that's why in the showcase he even said like we wanted to kind of go back to the survival roots. But then they were like, we can't make Leon like weak now because he's already been badass in the past. Do you know what I mean? So their idea was to make him have like a survival horror story, but it just wouldn't make sense because he's too badass. So Gracie's got the survival horror, Leon's got the like badass like Gears of War-y, Doomy combat. You said, he's got the strength to fight. I mean, Chris can obviously smash boulders with a fist, so they've left him out of it because he'd be too badass.
It's just OP'd.
Yeah, he's just roided up since Resident Evil 5. He was literally Resi 5. He's just like got Arnie arms. Like, yeah, it's hilarious.
There's a lot of like showing the different kind of gameplay. They actually showed a lot. I was very surprised how much of the mechanics of the game they showed. About like blood samples and stuff. You collect blood and stuff.
Oh, this is cool. So this is harking back to like Resident Evil 1, like with do you remember when you get like halfway through the game or something, the zombies start coming back like twice as powerful if you don't burn them. Mm-hmm. So you had to get the lighter and like go and burn them. This is effectively that. So I not screenshotted. I paused on the showcase to read what the game said about the crafting system, and the one that they showed. So they showed Grace picking up blood like with a sampler thing, and then she crafts a. I don't know what you call it, like some sort of I don't know, whatever, to put on corpses to stop them from resurrecting. So it's going to be the same thing. The Crimson zombies, I swear they were called Crimson Red. Crimson Reds or something. So this is going to be that. So basically, if you don't like put this stuff in a corpse, it's going to come back, and no doubt it'd be like Resi 1 where they come back way stronger.
Wow.
Yeah, so
I didn't pick that up. Yes. I'll be honest, I was watching it at 2x because I've got ADHD. But I assumed the blood sampling was to be some kind of like they create some kind of something for themselves, like what the herbs were, you know, like I thought it was going to be something like that.
Yes.
But that makes loads more sense.
Yeah,
I was like, well,
yeah, it literally said, cool. I swear it said on the screen, to stop resurrection and mutation. So that's where I'm thinking it's Resi 1 where they come back like twice as strong.
So then you have that that stress of like if you're in a rush for whatever reason, like being chased or whatever, do you stop and do it, or do you leave knowing that they're going to mutate stronger and come back? Exactly,
just like Kronos New Dawn, you know, like that kind of thing where people were saying that was really hard because if you don't kill them, they come back worse. So it's very similar to that. Really like it. That's I like the fact that the zombies are different this time, so different type of virus, and that they remember their past jobs and stuff.
That was cool. So like the cleaner does his like routine,
and you can avoid them or like figure out a strategy to like take them out because of their pattern or whatever. I thought that was quite funny.
It is cool. I know I was saying that it's nice that like specifically Leon's like almost got that superhero vibe still, like satisfying combat, but it is cool that they've kept that cat and mouse element to it, and kind of leaned into it with this, that the zombies have routines that they remember from their past life, so you can watch them and decide to avoid combat if you want to, because I'd be dead certain that the central core mechanic of all Resident Evil, which is kind of resource management, is still going to be in this.
Absolutely,
and specifically ammunition is always the problem, isn't it?
Yeah.
You can only carry so much. You're always going to run out of stuff.
Yep.
There was one thing I really liked was that there was the difficulty modes, casual, and then the kind of like the more advanced modes, and that the ink ribbon thing was only present in the more advanced modes. Yeah, and in casual mode, I'm pretty sure you can save anywhere.
Yeah, so you've got casual, which puts on like aim assist, and it will just be like save whenever. Then you got standard modern, which will be save whenever, but it's like this is like effectively the normal mode, which is like how it's intended to be played. And then you've got standard classic, which brings back what used to be in the past, where you'd have to collect ribbons to be able to save.
It's frustrating as hell, and we've all like sworn and you have all the pain of the ink ribbon system, but there was something kind of magical about it where dare you go any further?
Exactly.
Do you use that ribbon? There was this do or die kind of thing with it that adds another element of survival.
Massive part of the original survival's like feeling, because like you said, the amount of times I sat in a safe room thinking like, I don't want to go any further, but you have to. I can't stay in this room forever, you know, like, because I played through all the old ones like multiple times, and the last time I played through them all, I had the same feeling. It upped the level of horror tenfold.
Well, you know, it really really, in a really simple way, it puts you in the mindset of the character.
Yes. Yeah.
Because if you were in that reality, for whatever weird reason, when you got into that safe room, you'd lock the door and go, I can't stay in here forever, but I don't want to go outside because I'm safe in here.
Yep.
It puts you in that mind frame straight away, which is, it's a really, what they did there was, I don't know if it was intentional or not, or if it was just a happy accident. So it's cool to see that as an option here.
Yeah.
If I'm honest, I don't know if today I would still play with that because I know how lazy I am.
I'm going to go standard modern. And just kind of like play it and be able to save whenever. That's me, because I just save every single time I see a save point. Like, you know, in the last episode of our podcast, I said that I completed Resident Evil Village and the DLC and stuff. Every time I saw a save state, even if I just walked through a door, turned around, come back, I'd be like, I'll just save again because I'm right
just
here.
In case.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Whereas some people like to play and go, I'll only do like 3 saves the whole game or whatever. Like there's whole like challenges and stuff with that.
Yeah. No save runs.
I can't be bothered anymore with that. You know, like, and even the ink ribbon thing, it's brilliant. Like, and I love it, but I know I'd just get frustrated. So, I'm going to just go easy mode. Well, not easy mode. I'll do standard modern. That's what I'll do.
I'd be tempted to do, especially if I was playing handheld, I'd be tempted to play with the aim assist on.
Oh, the casual, yeah. I think that's still a good way to play the game for sure, you know. But I did Resident Evil Village in easy, like, because I just wanted to smash through it. And it was way too easy. Like, it, you know, so I was like, I need to go back to, like, normal mode.
Yeah, when you steamroller, they get a bit boring, don't they, when you just steamroller through?
Well, the good thing is because I was 100%ing it, I was finding every item and stuff. I wasn't, like, rolling through too fast, but I was like, I didn't want to get stuck on bosses and stuff. But I think I was underestimating my Resident Evil abilities there a bit.
Switching between third and first person is cool because you have the option again. It's nice.
Yep.
Yeah, it's nice. Can we talk first, just really quickly, about the random? Every AAA game is doing this now. Product placement, endorsement,
hang on.
sponsorships.
Leon has sponsorships. That's what this is. Like, he's got to that level of like, you know, badassery.
Now a word from my sponsor, Porsche. Do you want to be a badass like me? Then you must drive Porsche.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's exactly the whole thing. It is.
The car thing is weird. Now, when the 007 game showcase was happening recently, and it was like, the whole thing felt like an Aston Martin advert, which was just weird.
It was, wasn't it? Yeah.
It's gross, but with that game, or that storyline, I'm like, at least it fits. Because
absolutely. Yeah. It's
actual James Bond does drive an Aston Martin, and he does have an Amiga watch. Like, okay, cool.
Yeah, I've seen him.
Leon, I can't think I've seen Leon drive a huge amount at all.
He's either in the back of like a cop car being driven in like Spain somewhere, or he's kind of like traipsing over corpses. I can't say like or he's in a boat. Do you know what I mean? Like
boat,
yeah. They should have given him a boat.
Yeah, I don't associate driving particularly with Resident Evil at all. So
really.
The car thing was it's really crowbarred in. Like, it's just like, is there going to be a driving section in this game? Well, I thought it was set inside the mansion. Like, that doesn't make.
Yeah, it's in Raccoon City, so we're back in Raccoon City, so maybe there is. I mean, I wouldn't be adverse to actually being able to drive around Raccoon City. That'd be pretty cool.
Hey, if there's a section where, or maybe like in between locations.
Yes. Yeah.
Hey, actually, that's great. You're going to have to like dodge barricades and run over zombies, arcade style.
Yeah.
Just random arcade game.
That would be cool.
Gives you a score.
It wouldn't surprise me because they do random little like mini games sometimes, you know.
Yeah.
But I think this will be more. I think this will be more like you said, like cutscenes between two areas. Yeah. Like he's like, "Hang on, guys, I'm just going to drive in my Aston Martin," and jumps in and just goes to the next area.
Focuses on his keys and his hand with the logo
and his watch. Yeah.
Winks at the camera.
Yeah.
No, I like your idea with the watch you were saying earlier about the merchant.
Yes. What are you buying?
For some reason, the merchant's back in it.
Oh, yeah.
What are you buying? Want to buy a watch?
Yeah, that's it. I've got some good things on sale, stranger.
Do you want to be cool like Leon and wear a Hamilton watch?
Yeah.
It's so crowbarred. It's disgusting.
And it's like, in real life, you can buy these Hamilton watches and there's like 2,000 made, but they're like $1.5 to $2.5 grand. Like, it's like $2.5 grand on a watch. I didn't even spend that on a MacBook. Do you know what I mean? Like, the starting price was about what I paid, you know? So it's like, man, like, I get it.
It's mental.
If I was like a baller, I would totally buy one. You know, I'd love to have a Resi watch. But Matt, who's buying them? I mean, I know that people will scalp them, and they'll be up on eBay for like 10 grand, and it would just be ridiculous. Yeah, and that's what I hate.
Yeah, it's gross. That watch company, Hamilton, they do it a lot with films, and they've also done it with. They did it with Death Stranding, and they did it with the Black Ops 7 as well. Yeah,
see, I would much prefer.
It's a thing.
I would much prefer if they teamed up with like Casio. And they just made like £100 watch, and it wasn't limited to 2,000. I'd buy one. Here's the thing: it would fit the branding of the game a lot better. Yeah. If it was like a G-Shock, like it was like a rough and tumble. Yeah.
It just fits better.
Yeah.
Anyway, enough of that. They did talk about they'd worked closely with NVIDIA in developing this game.
So this is
they also mentioned DLSS 4 as well.
Yeah, well, that's great. I mean, DLSS 4.5, like, wicked. I can't wait because I'm actually going to be playing this on my wife's PC that's hooked up to the TV, which has got a 5070 base model in, right? So not the TI, just normal 5070. And that's how I played Village and all that good stuff. But on Village, I expected when I played Village there to be NVIDIA support. No, the only upscaler you've got is FSR. And I was like, okay. Like, yeah, so I was just going, well, I just won't bother then. And I just raw dogged it. Luckily, the 5070 you can play Village absolutely fine and 4K maxed out, you know. So that was really good. But I was like, it's a bit weird that with this far along in the game and there's no NVIDIA support in Resi games. I know they're like Resi 4 Remake, again, FSR only. And I was like, this is just really odd. Like, they're like AMD teamed up. Yeah, whereas now they're like big pushing, oh, look at our partnership with NVIDIA, which I think is the right move because it means that people will be able to enjoy this like with ray reconstruction on and ray tracing and like frame generation and the new DLSS 4.5 multi-frame gen weird thing that we talked about last episode in the podcast. I'm hyped for that because that will fit my needs because we've got my PC's a higher, like I've got a 9070 XT, which is more powerful than the 5070, but mine's on like not hooked up to the TV, right?
Yeah.
So I'd rather play this game on the big 77-inch, you know, and really immerse myself in it. So for me, selfishly, I'm really happy. But the question that this now raises is if they've gone Team Green and gone away from Team Red from AMD, does Resident Evil Requiem get FSR 4 Redstone support or not? Because it doesn't look like it.
It would be weird for them to abandon it entirely, abandon the AMD side entirely. But you're right, they've not mentioned it at all.
No.
Only NVIDIA and DLSS 4. So, yeah, what support does that mean for AMD owners? And why are we still in 2026 seeing games going one way or the other?
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it?
Just a little bit of the Xbox mentality on that, please, where you just kind of like, we just want our games in as many places as possible.
Yeah. And they do, actually. Xbox games do support both like top end. So let's just take Call of Duty. That supports both the newest NVIDIA upscalers as well as AMD's like, you know, newest. So we do get FSR 4 Redstone or whatever, and we will get DLSS 4 and stuff like that. So yeah, I think every game should just have support for all of it. Just you know, let everyone have the latest technology, so it doesn't matter what you're playing on, you're getting the best experience, you know. So yeah, I just thought it was odd. That was all. I'm really happy to see Resi games getting NVIDIA support, but I just thought it was weird.
And that support for DLSS 4 is going to be crucial now as we move into 26 and this. What appears to be, now NVIDIA have climbed back on this a little bit, but what appears to be a growing shortage of the RTX 50 series and particularly this story was about the 5070 Ti.
Yep.
The rumours came out. Well, I say rumours. They were kind of news stories that came out that that NVIDIA were going to stop production entirely of the 5070 Ti.
Mm-hmm.
That Asus couldn't get hold of any supply, so they had end-of-lifed that product.
Yeah.
The 5070 Ti Asus version, because of a shortage of RAM. So NVIDIA couldn't make it because they couldn't get hold of RAM. So then Asus couldn't buy their version of it, so they had end-of-lifed it. That was the story that came out like in the morning yesterday.
Yeah.
And then by the nighttime, it had been kind of
changed.
quashed, but it feels like a PR cleanup to me.
Yeah, so it was Hardware Unboxed, the YouTube channel, which are great. You know, like they're really good PC like testing component channel, and they've got Monitor Unbox and all that stuff, which is really, really cool. And it was them that reached out to Asus and basically said, "Can we have like one of all your cards or whatever to like do some sort of like testing?" And they went, "Nah, because we haven't got any stock and it's gone end of life." And that's what Asus said to Hardware Unboxed, like officially, we've discontinued it basically. And they were like, what?
Mm-hmm.
And they basically said like, yeah, because of the RAM shortages and stuff, that's it, it's end of life, like we're not doing it anymore. And then like you said, within like 12 hours or whatever, they turned around and said that so I've written here, so after Asus reportedly told them that memory supply is constrained, but then they backtracked and denied that the 50 Ti is dead, and they've said that whilst the 5070 and 5060 Ti as well, 16 gigabytes, have not been discontinued or designated as end of life, Asus now has no plans to stop selling these models. So they've completely done a 180. So they've gone, you can't have it, it's end of life, we're not manufacturing it anymore, to now going, no, it's not end of life, we are manufacturing it and we have no plans not to sell it. So sorry, what? So weird.
What's really confusing, because obviously everyone picked up on this and starts running it, like quoting Hardware Unboxed. I feel sorry for them, because if you go on any of their social pages like Twitter or whatever, they've had to put out like rambling clarifications, like huge threads. It's not their job to do this. Like,
it's not their fault.
They just put in the video exactly what they were told. They asked Asus for this series of card. Asus said that's end of life because we can't get them anymore from NVIDIA. Now, the reports that came from that were that NVIDIA had stopped making them. That's the bit that was obviously wrong. NVIDIA haven't stopped making anything, but they don't have enough RAM to produce what they need.
Yeah,
that's a real problem. And I imagine any supply of the RAM that's needed will go straight into AI data centers, which is NVIDIA's cash cow. Yeah,
that's their main priority. Us gamers are like the back foot.
So, although here's the kind of the vein of it that I'd take away. Although officially the 5070 Ti is not discontinued or end of life, it is effectively end of life because you will not be able to get them.
Yeah,
that's what that's what I take away from it.
Yeah. Read between the lines. It's kind of like it's still true, really.
It just won't exist. How that impacts the other cards will be really interesting. I imagine the 5070 Ti, if you were going to look at like a volume of sales, is probably the most popular because price for performance is the real sweet spot in their range.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of, the 5070 Ti is basically a 5080. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It really is. It's so close to the 5080. It's almost like pointless that they made a 5080 at all. Or they should have just not done a 5070 Ti and just made that the 5080. You know, they're so weird with their like mid-step like jumps. I don't see the point of it personally. But going from a 5070 to a Ti is a major jump, and that's also the only way that you can go up to 16 gig. So the 5070, they've still kept 12 gigabyte. So people really didn't want that card when they launched it. whereas they wanted the 5070 Ti, but the jump up in price was almost double, going from a 5070 to a Ti. It was insane. That's why with my wife's PC I went 5070, because I bought it at the point where it was just after launch and nobody wanted them, and because we got a pre-built company, we bought her system from there rather than me building it myself. It meant that we got the price even cheaper because they just bought a load of stock. No one was buying them, so they were running offers. And I was like, sweet, I got that like 5070 card for effectively like 400 quid or something, like, which is insane, you know? So it was really worthwhile. And it's an excellent card, especially when you see what they're doing with DLSS 4.5, you know, really, really good. But I get you.
That's my tie to the stories before and like going forward, is that it's, DLSS 4.5 is just now even more important than ever. When before I looked at the hardware upscaling and frame gen stuff, as like, oh, that's kind of cool, especially when we're looking at like on the AMD side of stuff with FSR, with some of the handheld stuff. It's really cool because with low power devices.
Yep.
For desktop applications, I wasn't as sold on it. I was like, it's a good way to, it's a quirky thing that they're doing, kind of cool. Yeah. Now it's essential because I think this generation of RTX cards in particular are going to be impossible to get going forwards, or impossibly expensive.
Yep.
So keeping hold of your 40 series or your 30 series, there's probably some people with older, but like keeping hold of those is probably going to be the only thing you can do. So you're going to need the help of DLSS to keep it alive.
Absolutely. And I love though that NVIDIA have just gone and backported this to all of them.
Yeah.
You know, they've not like gate kept it, so it's only 50 series that it supports. It's like, no, it just works on everything. So it doesn't matter what you've got. Like, just go use it. And that is brilliant because that really helps all matter of gamers, because now is not really the time to upgrade now. And it won't be for the next like 2 or 3 years unless you're absolutely in dire need to buy parts. Like, I think you should hold your guns and utilize these, these options like DLSS and FSR and things like that.
Yeah, it might even be the time to be looking at the second-hand market. It's a risky thing with components, though.
Yeah, and people will be scalping them, so like it'll be a used thing, and they'll be paying. What it means for the other 50 series cards, though, back to that point, I don't know if it's just going to be. Like, I would imagine the 5070 Ti is the one of them at least that sells the most, so it's going to be the most affected. But we haven't heard anything about how it's affecting the 60s or the 70s standards or the 80s and the 90s. Like, we haven't heard that, but I imagine it will. Yeah. I think one of these stories did lump the 5060 Ti, which is also 16 gig, in with the 5070 Ti. So because they're both the most affordable 16 gig models, obviously people want that. Yeah. So they'll be both affected. But on the flip side, AMD is going to be affected as well. The 9070 XTs and the 9070s and all that, which also have 16 gig of RAM, I think they're going to be in the exact same position. You know, like,
it's all about RAM, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's all about
exactly,
RAM.
Yeah.
It's kind of crazy. I'm going to brighten up a little bit with talk about the Switch 2, just really quickly before we get onto the main story.
Oh, yeah.
That, the Switch 2 has now officially outsold the GameCube in Japan.
I know. That's crazy. Already in like 6 months.
So the GameCube had sold 4.04 million units in its lifetime, and the Switch 2 has already surpassed that with 4.09 million.
Yeah,
that is wild, isn't it?
Yeah.
And again, the Famitsu Japan hardware sales from the end of December through to the 11th of January, so a 2-week period. Mm-hmm. Switch 2 again, just shifting units, 313,000 units in that time, like 2-week period.
Yeah, that's nuts.
What's really interesting is that PS5 has jumped up the sales ranking there. It's now the second most sold console in Japan.
This is what I was expecting for the December, report.
Yeah, the pre-Christmas one.
Yeah.
46,000 units in that time.
Okay.
But the mad part is that it's only just ahead of the Switch 1
Yeah, that's
which
insanity.
is also sold 46,000 units in that same time.
That's mad.
Kind of mental, isn't it?
Yeah,
but don't worry, I know you were like, but Xbox must have done really well in that time period as well. 281.
281. It's just laughable, isn't it? You're on like 45,000, even for a Switch one, and it's like we saw like
46,
one
000.
Xbox.
Yeah, it's honestly something that needs to be studied. Is how poorly the Xbox does in Japan. It's hilarious to me. They just do not embrace it at all.
No, not at all.
Just an American box of junk.
Well, talking of that, this isn't even on our list because I just forgot about it. But did you see with the like end of lifeness of the Steam Deck LCD? Obviously now Valve only have the Steam Deck OLED, but Xbox discounted the Xbox base Ally, the white one, which is probably over my shoulder somewhere, you can't see it. They discounted that $100, which actually makes it like the same price or cheaper than the Steam Deck OLED, which makes it a better buy, really, like in terms of performance and stuff like that. So I was like, okay, so for once we've flipped, because obviously the Steam Deck was the better buy like the whole time, really,
for a long
like
time. For
the LCD model, because it's nigh on the same, right? But now it's actually like cheaper to buy the Xbox Ally, which is more modern. It's got the VRR screen and stuff like that. So now the Xbox Ally has been shifting because of that discount. We don't get that discount over here in the UK, but US do. So okay. Obviously, you're not getting an OLED screen, so that's a bit of a bummer. But
didn't they drop it $100? They dropped it or something?
Yes, $100 was dropped. Yeah. So I just thought that was intriguing, because we've always thought, LCD Steam Deck's always going to be the winner, and now it's just gone. Now the actual base Ally, and that must be why Xbox discounted it. They must have gone, hang on a second, we can get in there now, sneak in.
There's a gap in the market, and I've said it a few times. Both on the show and in conversations with you, there's a huge gap in the market for where the LCD deck and where the Xbox Ally, the white one, should sit, and that's it. In the only one that really occupies it properly is the Switch 2.
Yeah,
for like a budget offering that still offers like decent performance.
It's amazing what this thing could do. Like
the Switch 2 is a marvel. Yeah. That's there's something magical NVIDIA happening in there and optimized games.
Yes.
But like there is still a gap for a PC equivalent that would sit in that space.
Yes. Yeah.
And the only ones that really get close to it are like old products that you can still buy.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah, Z1 Extreme variants.
Exactly. Yeah. Z1E sits there now, but like that's end of life, and it. I think it's just interesting that no one's there offering that. And I thought the Xbox Ally was going to do that properly.
I did as
well. The white one,
yeah.
I thought that was going to sit at like 400 and just be there.
Yeah, and I thought
like
it would have a
budget.
Z1 Extreme in it. Do you know what I mean? I thought they would literally take the exact specs of the Z1 Extreme Ally and just put it in a new shell, maybe with something tweaked a bit. And then that would have absolutely destroyed Steam Deck at that price point. But no, they put that.
And when people are asking us, which we get a lot, like, what should I buy right now? And you'll go, well, how much do you want to spend?
Yeah.
It would be so hard not to recommend this, especially if you had a Z1E. Like we quite often do when we do the roundups. It's still, like, if you're looking at trying to save money, we still recommend the, like, Z1E Ally.
Yeah.
From back, like, was it 2 years ago now? Like, you still recommend that.
Yeah,
especially if you get the second hand and decent warranty and stuff. Like,
I still got one.
Was it 350 quid?
Yeah. So I got my wife one, and that's her daily driver. Like, and she loves it.
Yeah.
And I've time and time and again said, "Do you want to upgrade to like the Ally X or an Xbox Ally X, whatever?" She's like, "Nah, totally fine with it." I mean, I did mod it, so I have done modifications to it, but it still holds its own so well. That original Ally is just so good value. Like, it really is.
they could, like you say, they could resell it. They could have done it with the Xbox version, and because it's the same screen, so it's essentially is almost there.
Yeah.
They just, I don't know. Obviously, it was must have been some kind of deal with the AMD that they had to put something from the Z2 family in.
But they could have just put the Z2 in it, which is just the Z1 Extreme, but instead they had to go Z2 Go or whatever it was, and it's like, ugh.
Z2A, isn't it, in that?
Z2A, that's
right?
it. It's even worse than the Z2 Go. Yeah.
It is, yeah. It's a shame. But yeah, there's still a gap there that someone could really neatly sit alongside the Switch 2 price point. Yes, you've got older hardware in it, but it's still capable. And really, really appeal to the broader demographic, because I think a lot of average gamers see the price points on these and are turned off.
Yes, absolutely. They're expensive.
You know what I mean? Yeah. And I think that's why the Steam Deck was one of the reasons, anyway, why it was so widely embraced, is that it seemed reasonable.
It was a great price point. It really was. Even at launch, whilst it was expensive at the time, it really wasn't for what you were getting. And then obviously when we saw the original Ally launch at like 700 or whatever, it was like, whoa, like that's a bit of a steep one, isn't it? And now you've got the Legion Go 2 all the way up into like tens of millions. So, so yeah, it's just insanity, the price point. But yeah.
Price point is the final theme, isn't it? That's the headline of this show. Oh, this story's going to rumble on and on, I'm afraid, guys. The Steam Machine.
Yeah.
The longer time until its launch, the more I'm worried and concerned for Valve and for us gamers that were excited for this. At least, like, even if you were just vaguely interested, because it's a kind of interesting proposition. A pre-built miniature gaming PC made by Valve for your living room. That sounds really exciting.
It does.
Even regardless of the specs, you go, that just sounds exciting because it's simple, it's convenient.
The convenience of it. Yeah, that's the thing.
Steam OS is beautiful. You know it's going to work great. Mm-hmm. And as more time goes on and we get more and more kind of rumours and leaks and obviously all this stuff of RAM happening, the price just keeps creeping up.
It does,
and it's going to get to a point where I don't think people will be able to justify buying it in a minute.
Do you think, before we go into the pricing stuff, they've said early 2026? So to me, that's first quarter. So we've only got until March. So we're halfway through January now. So they're going to have to announce the release date in the next couple of weeks if they're going to launch it in the next couple of months. So do you think they're going to postpone it? Do you reckon they'll go, actually, let's not?
It depends. They're pretty fleshed out. The only thing, that's the only thing I'd say about it, they were pretty fleshed out because they actually did hardware demonstrations to people like Linus and stuff. We weren't invited. I don't know why.
Yeah, come on, Gabe.
Fly us out to America. Come on.
Yeah.
Will they postpone? I think they're too far in. I think they'll be at mass production, and they can't just sit on hardware.
So do you think
that's going
if
more and more
they're
out of
that
date?
Far ahead? Yeah, well, that's the issue, isn't it? The further the time goes on, the more out of date it gets. So I suppose if it is ready for launch in the next couple of months, it means that they're all sat in a warehouse ready, which means that all of that RAM's already been bought and paid for, so they can keep the initial launch low. So is this going to be a 9070 XT issue where
100%.
The first batch is the MSRP and then batch 2 is 3 times as much?
Yeah. I've considered this a lot, and I think that's going to be a genuine problem with this. And and there's going to be a clamour, because there's a lot of excitement because it's their first proper bit of hardware since the Steam Deck. There's going to be a clamour for it because that's exciting. I think there's going to be a lot of people like us that are going to be talking it up as well, because it is an exciting addition to the living room. How long has it been since we've seen a new player enter the living room space?
And everything about it is enticing.
Yeah, so there's going to be a lot of talk about it, a lot of hype about it, and of course, on the backdrop of everything being more expensive, I think people are going to be aware that if I want one, I need to buy it at launch. So the launch will be really successful, I imagine, regardless of the price, because it's going to be all the early adopters, all the enthusiasts jumping in.
Yeah.
And then once that stock sells through, you're right, I'm almost certain we'll see a price jump at the end of 26, like a second half thing. And possibly stock shortages as well.
Yeah, because of it.
If Asus can't get hold of 5070 Ti's, I think Valve will struggle to get hold of RAM as well.
Yeah.
It's
I
going to
think
be a real
that's
thing.
going to be the case then. So the first thing is going to be jump on it as soon as you can, basically.
If you're even remotely interested in this and you can afford whatever price it does drop at, jump on it, because it's going to go up in price and out of stock real quick.
Yeah.
I think you could even see a situation where the initial stock sells through and then it's out of stock for ages.
Yeah.
I think that's a possibility as well.
Yeah, it's such a shame.
Yeah, it's a bad year, an unlucky year for them to launch, really.
Yes, it is.
The kind of crux of this story, though, is that we saw a price leak from a retailer in Europe, in the Czech Republic, who listed it with a price on their website. Now, this happens all the time in the lead up to hardware and even software as well. We saw it with gaming stuff. It happens a lot where retailers will just list it and put a price on it to get attention. It's like free marketing, isn't it?
I actually think this wasn't that. I think this was a user that looked at the source code of the website and found these prices that way.
Right. So it's like a hidden page.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think that's the case, rather than like a placeholdery price that loads of people do. Like when you thought Half-Life 3 was coming.
Honestly, yeah. It wasn't until I looked around on the site and saw they also had Red Dead Redemption 3 on there as well. Don't know if I like that.
Yeah, that was funny. I did enjoy that. But yeah, so this looks like it was a non-public bit of information that someone kind of dug through and found. So
this retailer had the two variants of the Steam Machine listed. $950 for the 512 model and $1,070 for the 2 terabyte model.
Yeah.
So firstly, it's just to take a moment to take stock of just that size of number is pretty scary. Like $950 for a 512 underpowered PC.
Yeah, $1,000. Yeah,
$1,000. Now, it has to be said that price will include sales tax, VAT, whatever it is in the Czech Republic. I'm not sure what it is there. I guess 20%, 15%.
I have
so it includes
no idea.
The sales tax.
Yeah, it includes the sales tax. Yeah, which I think a lot of, because obviously Americans don't. So that immediately people are thinking, oh my God, it's 1,000 plus tax.
No.
Yeah, rest assured this will be minus tax.
Yeah, so it brings it down a little bit, but it does bring that pretty much in line with what we were thinking. It's a bit higher, a little bit higher than we were thinking, but it's not far off, is it?
Not far off at all.
For those that were saying that we were mad for saying it's going to be that high in like the 700-800s, there was a lot of people that were saying it was going to be sub 500. I still see that.
I've no idea what they're smoking, but whichever alternate reality they live in, I would like to join them. But 750 to 1,000, like depending on the variants. We both said all day long, and it looks like this is going to fall right in line with that. Now, apparently, doing some more research, someone said that these websites actually are really known for including like quite a bit of a markup, but how much of a markup they didn't say. They didn't give any examples. They didn't say like, okay, look at this product and oh look, we see a 10% markup or whatever. So I don't know how much of a markup they've added onto that. So you've got some sort of markup plus tax included. I mean, UK wise, this would equate to like £700 to £800, the prices that they shared, which I reckon falls actually in line to what they would likely be here in the UK. You know, that sounds absolutely right.
So. Yeah. The more I'm kind of settling into the idea and trying to like imagine it's where it sits on a website, or even if it does end up in retailers' hands, like if you imagine it with price tag $749, I'll go, I can see that happening.
Absolutely.
It's a frightening price. Of course, none of us are used to things being this expensive, but in the backdrop of stuff, you go, it's not actually that bad. The thing that I think is going to be really interesting is how this is looked at in time, because there'll be a shock when it is announced. And all those people that think it's going to be £300 are really shocked that it's actually $750. That after that shock, I think it's going to be a bit of a Switch 2 moment.
Yeah.
That when other hardware that's more powerful and more like bleeding edge and for the enthusiasts comes out and is a lot more, you'll look back and go, oh, actually, it was a really good offering. It was actually really fair price. I can imagine the next generation PlayStations and Xboxes costing $750. It doesn't seem that crazy.
Absolutely. I was just about to say the same thing. I think that's exactly where we're going to see the new next gens landing. And when that happens, the Steam machine will drop in price. And it will be even more like, oh, look at the value that offers, you know. So I think that's exactly what's going to happen. I'm still baffled by how brutally upset people were with the Switch 2 when we could see its value off the get-go. And it was hardly any more expensive than the OLED launched at. Like, it still blows my mind why people felt like they were having to chop their leg off to buy it. I was like, what is going on here? Like, it's really weird. And now people don't care about the price. They're like, yeah, it's great. So it's like, okay. Yeah. So I think that's going to happen here.
It's because more expensive handhelds came out quite quickly afterwards.
Maybe, yeah.
And now it looks like it's really good value. Yeah, the same thing is going to happen here, but it's going to take a little bit of time because it's going to, I think, ultimately take until PS6, Xbox, whatever comes out. Yeah. Xbox PC, let's be honest, that's what it's going to be. And actually, that's a really interesting comparison, isn't it?
It will be, yes.
Because all the rumours are that Xbox are working on a PC, or at least working with an OEM to make an Xbox PC.
Yep.
So then you're going to have two devices for the living room that are based around PC gaming.
Yeah.
One made by Xbox, or one branded Xbox, and one branded by Valve. Like, if there was a side-by-side option, unless the Xbox version was like flying in performance difference, I think everyone's going to lean towards the Steam machine. Yeah,
and it depends on the price point again, doesn't it? Like, because, I mean, aesthetically, they're going to look the same because the Xbox will be a cube. The Steam machine's a cube. It's going to be a green cube versus a black cube. But it will be interesting to say the least, because the Xbox One will be a full-blown PC. So it's gonna basically just run Xbox full screen experience. Now it really depends on where they go with the spec. Now we were discussing this off camera. We weren't even going to bring this up actually, but might as well. I feel like because of all this issues with RAM and SSD pricing and stuff, and there's rumors that they're going to delay the next Xbox to whatever, like 2029 or 28, whatever, rather than previously expecting it to be sooner, it would totally make sense for Microsoft to drop an expensive dedicated PC with like Asus, let's say, at like 1,000, and be like, boom, there it is, and everyone's like screaming, people were setting their cars on fire, you know, like, oh my god, like, you know, and it's 1,000.
Raccoon City.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's what I'm picturing. Leon's there, like, check out my Xbox, like, you know,
I got my watch on.
yeah, that's it. And he's running around and people were chasing him like Black Friday style. And so Xbox released like a home TV PC which is just the Steam machine, but with Xbox full screen experience, it's 1,000. Everyone's shocked, mind's blown. And then when they finally release the next Xbox console, and it comes in at 750, people are no longer shocked. You know, people are like, oh yeah, it's actually pretty good value. It's cheaper than what they did last time. You know, like I feel like that could be really strategic from them.
Yeah. One thing's for certain with that, because I agree with you, it feels like a logical progression, especially if that Xbox PC is genuinely offering like great performance. When you look at like the Xbox Ally X, it's expensive but offers genuinely good performance, and people were shocked at the price, but they're only shocked because it had an Xbox brand on it.
Yeah.
Anyone who's used to handhelds was like, well, that's actually a good price. But yeah, one thing's for certain is that Valve have got the unfortunate task of shooting the firing pistol on that generation of price points.
Yeah.
They're going to be the ones that shock everyone, and everyone's going to kind of recoil. It just so happens that they just fall in this new generation of like everything's hellishly expensive. And I'll go back to the Switch 2 because I do love the thing. And in the backdrop of all of that, then you look at what the Switch 2 offers for its price and go,
insane
that's an
value.
Incredible offering. Insane value.
Insane
Half
value.
the
like,
price.
Day one Resident Evil Requiem. Do you know what I mean? Like the amount of day one games now that are going to launch on this thing, and it looks good. Do you know what I mean? Like, I've looked at the footage stuff playing on there.
It's not a grotty
horrendous.
compromise.
No, it's not like the Switch 1 versions where it wasn't far off the like dodgy handheld versions of games we used to get of the old days, right?
Yeah.
Like now you're getting like full on AAA games on this thing running decently, like 30 FPS locked, fine. Like, you know, obviously game dependent, but for the value, like you're paying like $1,000 for a handheld or like whatever these TV boxes are going to cost. This thing's both at like 400 or whatever. Like, you can't argue that value.
Yeah.
Like, you really can't. It's nuts.
It's it gets more and more appealing as time goes on, and I think when the AAA games really start rolling out in their frequency, Nintendo even talked this week about their direction of travel and like being more open and friendly to third-party developers. They want it to be as smooth as possible for them. They know what's up. They know. They know what they're doing.
They've been watching our podcast.
They know they've been watching our podcast. I mean, they do message in, and you know, obviously we got exclusive tickets to the Switch 2 preview event that time.
Oh yeah, that's it. Yeah.
It wasn't totally random and just a raffle. No. Yeah, when gamers at large see that rolling out, and then they see the new hardware from their favourite manufacturer being double the price, I think there's going to be this question of like, well, what am I doing here? Unless you've got a massive PlayStation digital library or whatever. Yeah. Same with Xbox. Then maybe you might sit on your hands. But I think the most likely direction of travel for everyone in 26, which goes back to the central theme, is people are just going to sit still. So they're going to be frightened off of the price of everything. Developers at large are going to have to target playable modes for lesser hardware. Things like DLSS 4 and FSR 4 are going to be crucial to that.
Yeah, they're a necessity. Like, you must use them.
Yeah. So I think what's likely travel is that this generation just rumbles on, and it'll be until like 2028, 2029 until we see like people moving on to the next stuff. Yeah, I think so too. Yeah, and I think you're right. I mean, it's good because if it means that developers have to support older hardware because no one's upgrading, I mean, it's just a win for everyone. They'll design new technologies in the engines and stuff for like compression and all this kind of stuff, and also it'll benefit all handheld players because they're so underpowered compared to like desktop variants. So it kind of is a win for us, even if it's more of a ball ache for the developers. It's a win for gamers. And things like the cloud streaming services, which are slowly getting to a point where they're usable.
Will they go way more expensive? Because obviously they've got to get millions of these cards and stuff to be running in a server. That. You know? Yeah. So, I mean, NVIDIA have their own one, and I suppose they're their own manufacturer, so it might be different. But Yeah.
Well, they're imposing more and more restrictions, aren't they? Which is essentially making it more expensive. I think there's a 100-hour monthly limit now.
Yeah, we discussed this like years ago when the rumors were flying around.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's actually there now. Yeah. 100 hours a month.
100 hours a month.
Nah.
What does that work out as? That's like if you play games every day, which most of us do in some way. I think anyone who's into gaming probably picks it up at least 5 times a week. Then you're gonna be butting up against that quite quickly.
Oh yeah. It wasn't a lot a day. Yeah.
No. So but they're going to be part of the solution as hardware gets older and people aren't upgrading those kind of services. Xbox's one, PlayStation's one. Is it a? There something I just want to add into this really quickly at the end. I completely forgot to add to our list.
What is it?
Because it adds to the cloud gaming thing, and I was going to say, does it make things like the PlayStation Portal more of a viable option?
Oh, yeah, because you're not paying for like any hardware really. It's just a screen.
Yeah.
It's
just a screen. Well, here's the thing. There's a really strong rumor going around that came out this week that PlayStation are planning an OLED 120 hertz version.
Ooh, nice.
Now, does that entice you? That was a question I asked people on our Facebook pages. Is that enough to entice you?
Well, not me, but I reckon.
Nah.
Because I'm spoiled, I've got a Lego 2, so immediately that's better. For even just streaming, you know. And I've got like an OLED tablet that I'm looking at your face on right now, stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I do think that would be, because if you're going to stream, like the way I see it is the screen is so important. Like it's so important. It's how you view the world. It's how you get absorbed in. And with like, if it was HDR as well, like HDR is mind blowing. It's like a free graphics upgrade. You know, it really changes everything. So if you've got an OLED HDR screen, it's just mind blowingly good. Even if you've got the same machine running on 2 screens, the LCD non HDR, which is maybe like 500 nits or something, and then you've got the exact same game running on the same PC next to it, but on an OLED HDR screen at like a peak brightness of 1000+ nits. It literally looks like you're viewing like an old school graphics card versus like a 5090.
100%.
Like it's such a big
totally
change.
Agree.
So I feel like when you've got these streaming devices like that disgusting Logitech thing that Xbox made a partnership with, like that thing is like no, don't.
It's
like,
horrible, isn't it?
It's got like a Game Boy Advance screen on it. Like, you know, it's like just it looks hideous. I don't want to stream. Like, first of all, streaming is kind of like a bit of a so if you're going to stream it to then a crap screen, just get away. Like, I'm not wasting my time with that. Whereas now, like, and even the PlayStation Portal, that screen's actually pretty good, supposedly. I've never seen one in person, but I'll take people's word for it. It's supposedly quite a good screen. But if it's now, like you said, an OLED screen, even without even without HDR, I think would still be enough.
Yeah.
I think that would be enticing to people, especially with the price of all these products going through the roof with all the RAM and stuff, because the thing is going to have hardly any specs in it. So the price is going to remain $200 or whatever. It will be enticing. If you've already got a PlayStation subscription that supports cloud gaming, your only outlay in cost is buying the thing, and that's it. Like that is a win, and I would say that would be worth doing. I do think that is worth it. Yeah,
it's odd how that's become, as more time goes on, becomes actually a viable value proposition. When it's launched, it just looked like a rip-off because it was just a remote play device. That's weird. Why would I want that? Why would I pay money for that when I could remote play off this device I've already got?
Yep.
But as the cloud streaming got rolled out to it and that became more viable, it does start to become viable. And I do occasionally cloud stream now. Or when I'm playing with, I'll hook up one of those like Games Here things and go, do you know what? It's getting there. For certain games, it's absolutely fine.
Yes.
Anyway, but that's besides the point. If they put an OLED screen in it, and it is 120 hertz, if they can put HDR in there as well, if that's possible with streaming, then that's super enticing. If it's it's like £250 or something, or a similar price point, then it's hard to ignore it. At least, I just have this weird itch with it that I can't let it go. That every time I see one, I'm like, I do quite like the idea of having one, and I don't know why yet.
Yeah, you don't know why. Yeah. I think if they managed to keep the price close, and it was only like £50 more, let's say, so it went from 200 to 250, but now you've got an OLED one. I think that would actually, for PlayStation players, I wouldn't recommend someone that doesn't have a PlayStation already to do it, but for PlayStation players that have a subscription, or like yourself, that's got like a digital subscription or whatever, or digital games on there that you could cloud stream to it, then I do think that would be a valid way if you wanted to be able to enjoy these games with a good internet connection in your own home or office or whatever. I think cloud streaming, like you said, could start being more relevant because of all this price increasing stuff with everything else. Yeah. But I'm glad that the Switch 2 is powerful enough now not to require it, because that really turned me off.
100%.
I know it's been a bit of a Resident Evil podcast, but when they announced all the Resident Evil games on the Switch 1, and they were just cloud versions, disgusting. Why?
It's something I'm glad I've not heard at all with the Switch 2, because
that's what I mean. It's just gone.
I remember us doing live streams when directs were on, or just watching them together and stuff, and the amount of times it was cloud version, and you're like, oh, God's sake, it's just not worth buying. It's not worth it. This horrible experience. So anyway, it's doom and gloom, and Resident Evil's coming. That's my summary of today's show.
Everything sucks, but it's all right because Requiem's almost here.
The Steam Machine may cost $1,000. So there you go. Whoops.
Yep.
And you can't get RTX cards anywhere.
No.
Asus were lying.
Yeah.
It isn't discontinued, but you just can't buy it.
Yeah, that's it, yeah.
I don't know. It's madness. But I'd love to know what you guys think down in the comments down below. Would you buy a PlayStation Portal if it had an OLED screen? That's actually the question I want to know.
Yeah.
And are you excited for Resident Evil?
That's what my question I want to know. Yeah.
Okay, Let us know down in the comments down below. Once you're down there, please do subscribe to the channel for more handheld gaming content like this video. What else could they do, Andy?
Yeah, you can become a member. You get to support us and chat with us on our private Discord as well.
We love it. So until the next time,
have a nice day.